Picture this. You've just gotten your typical laundry list of homework to do from school. Now the good news here is you have hours and hours to complete said homework. The bad news is you have an episode of Lost recorded on your DVR. What do? Well, the option that people would most often jump to in the ideal situation would be to do your homework first. But let's not kid ourselves here. When faced with the task, who is actually going to do that? The answer would be no one. So, you decide to watch that episode of Lost that's on your DVR, but then, you find out that Napoleon Dynamite is also playing on the other channel. And, of course, you are forced to watch Napoleon Dynamite. But now, unfortunately, you, my friend, have just fallen victim to the dreadful art of procrastination. But luckily, do not fear. You have me, Billy Jealousmo, a recovering procrastinationaholic, to help you through these difficult and striving times and get back on the horse. The first step in this battle is to get yourself organized. And the best way to do this is to get an agenda. Now, the key that I want you to do is the second that you get home from school or work or whatever, is to write down everything that you hope to get accomplished in the next 24 hours, regardless of if you think you can get it done or not. Now, these can be things such as I want to do my trigonometry homework, or I want to watch TV from this time to this time, or I should really let my little brother back into the house because the wolves are going to be out tonight and they're already howling. They're looking for a meal. Now that you have all these tasks written down, your next step is you should put these tasks in a timely manner. Put this in a realistic schedule. Say you'll do trigonometry from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock, and then shift gears and watch that episode of Lost. But the key here is to put this in a realistic schedule. Don't say this chemistry homework should only take me 25 minutes, because then you'll get stuck on a conversion problem and it will end up taking you about 45 minutes, and that's no bueno. The next step is simple. Stick to the schedule. Now, that may seem like a no-brainer, but then again, putting one foot in front of the other is also considered a no-brainer. And I still trip over my own 2 feet more times than I'd like to mention. Have you ever been on YouTube and you say you're only going to watch one video, but then one video turns into 2 videos, and 2 videos turns into 3 videos, which turns into 10 videos, which turns into 2 hours, and then basically all night. You say you're only going to watch this one video on how to do a certain chemistry problem, and then, there's a video on a kid jumping through a flaming hula hoop. That should be pretty interesting. And it's only about 3 minutes long. And, the other thing about YouTube is, that's just one example of how easily someone can get distracted and veer off from the main goal. Our last step is, by far, the best one. Sleep. Now, sleep is very important. If Bernie and Phil couldn't convince you with their quality, comfort, and price, and Bob couldn't tempt you with his tempting Bobopedic mattress, then allow me to be the one to convince you. Sleep is very important. It's restorative to the body, can help ward off ailments and all that fun stuff. That's why I'm going to side with the sleepologist here and say that 8 hours of sleep is the good amount of sleep to get. Now, of course, that's not to say that anything less than 8 hours is terrible or bad for you or even harmful. It's just if you get less than 8 hours, you won't be as alert. You won't be, as sharp as a tack like I always am. And your back will hurt, and back's hurting, that's just not a good day for anyone. Now, for all you overachievers out there, I know it's easy to say, boy, this math problem is it's quite a doozy. I want to work on it all night, and I want to just pull out all my hair. Well, that's probably not the best course of action in this situation. The best course of action would be to just call it quits, leave the problem till tomorrow. Well, that's all the tips that I have for you guys. Hopefully they help you. Maybe they won't, but hopefully they will. And last but not least, I just want to leave you all with some words of wisdom. In the immortal words of one, Smokey the Bear, remember, only you can prevent procrastination.